In topic 3, you began to get into the specifics of your business because you looked at, is this idea viable and does it have a place in the marketplace? When we move into topic 4, which is mapping functional requirements, now we're really looking into the specific details of the e-business. And in lesson 4.1, we are going to look at the topic of functional requirements. So what is a functional requirement? You need to be able to identify your core e-business tasks, because this is going to obviously help you with entry into the marketplace, but it can also help you to better understand areas that you can improve inside the system that you are creating. So functional requirements are the capabilities necessary to the operation of the business. They basically are the tasks that must be accomplished, and they include an input, a behavior, and an output. And non-functional requirements also exist in an e-business, but they can constrain a system, such as security or reliability. Let's take an example. The functional requirement of a business is to process jewelry, the fashion jewelry orders. So what would happen is the input is the user interacting with the system to select a piece of jewelry and to purchase the jewelry, and then the output is them receiving the jewelry. Well, the requirements that can constrain that system is my process, or my shopping cart procedures for them to process their credit card, are they secure? Is my website built in a way that makes it easy to navigate? Is it built in a way that's going to encourage customers to add more items to their shopping cart? So what we want them to do is to search, purchase, and receive. But we have to make sure that those are taken care of, and that the non-functional requirements are also considered, because if there are any constraints that would impact the functional requirements, we need to take care of them. So functional requirements, some characteristics: they should be concise, they should be achievable, consistent, unambiguous, and they are absolutely necessary for the system. If a user becomes a customer and then they want to come back and buy more fashion jewelry, they should be able to repeat the same exact process that they repeated successfully when they were on our site for the first time, or when they made their first purchase. And again, this is just an example. Okay, so some more characteristics of functional requirements. They need to map to a specific objective. Okay, we are trying to increase sales by decreasing the user's experience in terms of the amount of clicks it takes to add something to a shopping cart. And the requirement should answer a question. Can our user easily add a product to the shopping cart? And can our user safely and securely check out? Can they exit the system knowing that they've purchased a product in a safe environment? Remember, we want to identify any constraints that do exist, and you should write your functional requirements in the form of instructions. Okay, the system will allow the user to purchase a product without having a login account, because sometimes that can deter users, but it will also allow them to create a login after checkout if necessary. And then use cases. These can be very helpful to create functional requirements. And this is basically, how does the process happen? And by understanding how the process happens, then you can determine, these are my functional requirements. These are the objectives that I need to achieve. And this particular diagram that I've included depicts the systems engineering process, and you can see on the outside of the circle it's talking about the process input, and then in the lower right hand is the process output, and everything that happens inside of the system. Okay, you create a requirements analysis. What are the requirements? You keep considering those requirements. You go through functional analysis and allocation, and then you're also looking at the systems analysis and control. Okay, is what is happening, what is required, is that connected to the functional areas, to what should be happening? And then of course you have the process output.